This week we talked a lot about different types of assessments in the classroom, specifically formative and summative. In this week's videos, I noticed there being a lot of formative assessment, whether this was them filling out rubrics about projects that they were working on or having class discussions with or without the teacher. Some of the videos, they had discussions just in their groups about progress on work that they were working on in the classroom, while others had class discussions about it to check for understanding. In the video titled Geometry Project Rubrics Review, the teacher gave the students an activity to rate themselves and their peers on the progress of their projects and how they were doing. Some of the students were honest with grading themselves and were honest about the setbacks that they have had and talked about it within their groups. Some of them were a little bit skimpy on the grades and they were trying to be nice and they were putting positive grades where they should have better positive criticism, and the teacher was walking around and would see what the students were doing, and when she noticed things like this, she would prompt them to give better constructive criticism. And she also guided the students that were struggling and had talks with them about their progress on their projects. Formative assessment specifically is just checking for understanding. This could be surveys, rubrics, asking questions in class, just simple things. These are things that aren't typically graded in the classroom, while summative assessment is usually a final exam, a state or district test, or a big project at the end of a semester or something that is heavily graded. In our Google search discussion board, we all talked a lot about different types of examples of these assessments. I noticed a lot of people talking about pop quizzes for formative assessment and final exams for summative assessment. I think this is a good comparison, but it cuts formative assessment a little short, because I believe formative assessment could be something as simple as the teacher asking the students, is there any questions in the classroom, during lessons and stuff. I think formative assessment is super important in the classroom. I think not only for the students to get better understanding, but for the teacher to know where they need to work better in guiding the students. Formative assessment is something that I would definitely use in my classroom a lot to make sure my students knew exactly what was expected of them and made sure they had a good understanding on what was going on in the classroom as well.